The P in paid is participate. And that's what you do. You don't do the automating. Everything that a tool can do, you aren't supposed to be doing. You're not doing the things on the isolate list because 9.9% of the things on the isolate list are automated. So get comfortable with taking your hands out of everything. Because as long as to be in everything, you will not scale. So delegate. If that feels uncomfortable for you, then we are going to work on your leadership skills. Leaders lead. Leaders are not drowning in the day-to-day of their business. It's time to level up to that CEO that you are calling yourself. That's when you know that you are ready to scale. Take your hands off of it. They don't have to do it the way you do it. They don't have to do it as well as you do it even, because you're probably worrying about the wrong things in the business. It doesn't really matter. I assure you, most of what you're thinking about every day doesn't matter at all. If they can do it 75% as well as you can do it, or as well as you would like it to be done, then let it be. Because you get to control you. You get to control the excellence with which you deliver only that with which you can do. You don't get to control what someone else does. You just get to create the processes and the systems so that the delivery is amazing. It doesn't mean that it is going to look the way that you would deliver it. The key here is knowing how to hire people. So if this feels scary to you, if you are shaking your head like, oh, she is crazy, I'm not doing that, it's because you don't know how to hire people. Once you learn how to do that, and once you learn how to manage people, how to lead people, you will understand that your role as the leader is to develop leaders. And so we've done the A, the I, and the D: automate, isolate, and delegate. Are you still with me? You still like me? We still friends? Okay, great. Let's talk about that P, because the P is participate. Now, do you see why we had to come back to the P? Because you need to be freed up to do what you need to be doing to grow the business. You're the visionary. And so this is going to take us to the other two layers in the framework. Layer number 5 is pioneering. You are leading not just your industry. You are leading not just your company. You want to lead your industry. What are you doing that's different? What are you doing to shake things up in your industry? When people encounter you, they should never walk away the same. When you teach something regarding your expertise, they ought to be what? They should have light bulb moments. How are you doing something different than how it's always been done in your industry? How are you leaving your mark? 5 years from now, what are you doing today so that 5 years from now, someone is saying, oh my gosh, like she or he, they're the ones who created that. They're the GOG of that. It's time for you to step up. Be a pioneer. Pioneer. Innovate something in your industry. I challenge you to do it. And then layer number 6 is partnerships. I've already talked about the fact that you can't do this alone. We were talking about people who are internal to your business to support your growth. We talked about why you need those people and processes yesterday, because the next 100K is about speed. It's really all about speed. If you want $1 million, then it's how fast can you make the 100K again and again. So you need the people and the processes. But what will also help you with that speed is partnerships. Who can you connect with? Who can you collaborate with? Who can you cross promote with to expand your access? Intercultural Voices is all about three things: access, impact, and generational well being. And so when you are strategic and intentional about connecting with other people to form partnerships, and I am not talking about from the legal sense, I am talking about collaborations, then you have now poured some gasoline on your speed. Who can you connect with that can tell their community about you and you can tell your community about them? How can you create a referral partnership so that you are cross promoting one another? Something that we used to do a long time ago, then is still a really great idea. And it coincides with building the list that I talked about earlier. If you're building a list, then you need to be emailing them on a regular basis. Let's say that you send out a newsletter once a week, because once a week is, in my opinion, the minimum amount of frequency for you to be reaching out to your list. I'd love it if you were reaching out 3 times a week. So let's say that you're doing a weekly newsletter. How about if you have a collaboration with someone where the 4th week of the month, you're going to post about them in your newsletter and they're going to post about you in their newsletter? There's lots of ways to do a partnership. Maybe instead of them paying you to speak at their event and you paying them to speak at your event, you're going to swap. There's lots of ways to design a partnership. Some people call it affiliate marketing. And that would take us back to the automation. What software do you have in place that will allow you to create an affiliate program for your products and your services, a referral program for your products and services? What does that mean? That means that if you automate the process, you're not sitting here trying to figure out who did Lucy refer and how are you going to pay them? You don't have to do that. They have software for that. Lucy can sign up. The software will give Lucy her own special link, can give Lucy her own code. Maybe Lucy's coupon code is Lucy. And then every time that she gives her link to someone, every time that someone uses her code, the software knows that Lucy is the one who sent them. The software knows how to calculate Lucy's money. And if you give the software permission, you can tell the software what day to go and pay Lucy. Now, personally, I prefer to manually do that part because I want to just get some eyes on commissions and making sure that there isn't any hanky-panky going on. But a lot of companies just let the software do that because they've dialed it in. They've already done the manual testing. And so they know that everything is running like a well-oiled machine. And that's what scaling is about: getting your product, service, or offer to a place that is running like a well-oiled machine that does not require you to be involved. You get to innovate your industry. You get to be the visionary of your company. You get to be out, what I call, shaking hands and kissing babies. That's your job. Participate is your job. Everything else is a tool's job or someone on your team's job. Are you challenged now? Are you challenged to step out of the muck and the mire of your business, the day-to-day fires of your business? Are you challenged to step up to CEO, to put on your crown and sit in the CEO seat? Because that is what is going to be required in order for you to scale. And I hope that I've given you a lot of things to think about and to consider on this journey to scaling. And I hope that you realize you do not have to wait. Now, you do need to wait until you have something to scale to actually start scaling. You do need to wait until you have a proven product, because what is the point of scaling something that isn't selling? If they don't want the product or service or offer, or if you cannot sell the product or service or offer, there's nothing to scale. So having a proven concept, I would say, is the prerequisite to scaling. And that's why I again love the number 100K. It solves so many questionable tactics. I want to see you start focusing on strategies, less tactics, more strategy. And so share something with me. What's your biggest takeaway? I've given you the myths. I've given you the get paid formula. It goes so nicely with the other formulas that I gave on the other days. I am Dr. Linette Montae. I am the president and COO of Intercultural Voices, where we are on a mission to close the access gap and help you redefine success on your terms. Because at the end of the day, we believe that collectively, our impact will build something greater.